Hey everyone, Harry here from Digital Treadmark. So Project Motor Racing launched 2 days ago and I spent some serious time with it. I'm talking about a 2-hour live stream on launch day, plus a bunch of solo testing after that. And man, there is a lot to talk about. So full disclosure, I had this game pre-ordered and I chose not to cancel my pre-order, and here we are. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys about what's working, what's not, and whether you should actually spend your money on this. Here's the thing, this game almost didn't work for me at all. The force feedback out of the box felt like I was driving on water. The graphics were tanking. I was about to write this whole thing off, but then my stream chat saved the whole experience. So let's break down what actually happened. Now, the first thing I'm gonna talk about here is the force feedback. So I jumped into the Mustang GT3 at Daytona during the stream. The force feedback was rough, really rough. I couldn't feel anything. There was no tire connection or weight transfer, no sense of when the car was gonna slide. I felt like I was driving on water. And I'm sitting here thinking, there's gotta be something that I missed with the settings somewhere. Here's the thing, is that I know force feedback and I've dialed it in for myself and actually a couple of my friends across multiple sims. This wasn't me being bad at the title. Something was just off. Then one of the stream chatters, I don't even know what to call you guys, chatters, stream chatters, I don't know. One of the stream chatters named Khaotic Playz joined the stream. And this dude just drops into chat, just straight knowledge. Hey, boost your EQ settings and adjust the rack feel. So I'm like, all right, let's try it. And I start tweaking those settings live on stream. And here are the settings that we landed on during the stream that actually worked. So the rack feel I set between 1 and 1.2. The EQ low was at a 0.7. The EQ mid cranked up to 1.5, and the EQ high was 1.0. Also, don't forget to turn up the alignment boost. That will help as well. This was a night and day difference. Suddenly I could feel the car, the weight transfer, the tire slip, when the rear was about to step out. All of it came through the wheel. So we tested it on the Mustang GT3 first, and then somebody in the chat named Arash, and I hope I'm saying that correctly, said that the Valkyrie felt terrible. So we applied the same settings to the Valkyrie and boom, it transformed that car too. You could actually feel what it was doing. Now here's where it gets interesting. After the stream ended, I found the official Project Motor Racing force feedback guide, like an actual PDF document from the developers explaining all these settings. And I was reading through it like, man, this would have been so helpful to have before the launch. Like, they should have documented this, which they did. I guess what I'm trying to say is that they should have put this in the game. The documentation should not be like separate from the game. Like, it should have explanations of each setting as you're going through it. But anyways, that's besides the point. It's not there right now, but the document is there. If you don't know where to get it, I'll put a link down in the description below, so that way you have access to that as well. You can make your own tweaks and basically experience it yourself, experience the change in the force feedback. So after reviewing the document, I went back to Daytona in the Mustang and started testing based on what that guide recommended. And I ended up with different values that felt even better to me personally. So in these new settings, it was the EQ low was set to 1.5. The EQ mid is set to 1.3 and the EQ high is set to 1.2. And the rack feel was maxed out. So I believe it's 1.2. I also switched my wheelbase settings. I'm running a Moza R3 and the Moza Pit House preset had way too much vibration. The one that I found on like Sim Racing something, I don't remember, I'll pop it up right here. But their preset was too vibratey. Like, it was just like, I would turn the wheel and it was like this weird vibrating like oscillation thing that was going on that was like, you can actually hear the noise in stream. So instead, I switched to my Le Mans Ultimate preset for Moza in Pit House, and it was a lot smoother. Once I had made those changes, I tested it on the MX-5 for the license test, and it felt surprisingly good. It did feel a little bit dull, but I think that just has to do with the MX-5 not being a downforce car, and so there was a lot more body roll felt through the wheel. And I will say, once you get these settings dialed in, you can tell where the grip and the tire's at, because I was able to take turns in the MX-5 at really high speeds and feel when I had the grip and then feel when I lost the grip. Just keep that in mind. So I'd like to, shout out Khaotic Playz for saving that stream. Without him dropping those settings, I probably would have just written this game off as broken. Well, completely broken. It is broken, but not completely broken. So before all of this, I was unsure about streaming my games or streaming any footage on my channel, but this has changed my view on streaming on this channel, because we were able to take that information from a chatter, Khaotic Playz, and distribute this information to to other chatters that were viewing the live stream, and as well as other people who weren't chatting, possibly viewing the live stream. I hope that they were able to grab this information and make the changes for themselves. But here is the real problem. Most people aren't gonna figure this out. The out-of-the-box force feedback is absolutely just doo-doo. And yeah, the official guide is there, but how many people are actually gonna read through that? Probably not many. Now moving on to one of the other big issues is the graphics. During the stream, I was getting like 30 to 50 frames a second, and that is rough. And it made everything so much harder because I couldn't react smoothly to what the car was doing. After the stream, I went back in and dropped the graphics preset to 1 below ultra, and it helped, but there was still stuttering, but it was more playable. So with these improvements, even with their flaws, I was able to go ahead and complete the license tests, run career races, and evaluate the game without the performance killing me too much. But let's be real, the game needs optimization patches. The stuttering is still there even on lower settings. And I will say that the devs have released a message out to the community saying that they are working hard on these patches, specifically focused on the graphics and AI. So hopefully we get that soon. As of editing this, the developers have released 1.5.0.1, which has a bunch of GT3 fixes and handling fixes. If you want to go check out what those improvements actually are, I have the link down in the description below. Make sure to go hit that up and try your game again. Now, launch day performance issues aren't uncommon, so hopefully this improves with the updates that I just spoke about. But right now, don't expect buttery smooth frame rates. Now moving on to the license test. I got a 67 in Division 3. Honestly, not sure if that's good. I don't think it is. I kept reading, and I should stay off the Reddit, but on Reddit, people were saying that there's 4 tiers, 4 divisions, I guess. Division 4 being the lowest. So we're gonna improve that because I can actually feel the cars now, and I got the graphics working a little bit better, so I'm gonna go back in there and redo the test. But hey, I did get the license. So for the license test, you use the MX-5, and the force feedback with the settings that I applied actually felt pretty dialed in. I was actually outpacing the AI during the test, which proves that the game is absolutely drivable once you get everything sorted out. But here's the odd thing, is what I don't know. Is the license test actually grading your racecraft, or is it just based on your lap time at the end? And it's not just lap time, it's like your overall time. But if it's just based off that time, then it's really not teaching people how to drive clean. I might need to intentionally drive like a absolute turd and see if it fails me. Hopefully it's actually penalizing bad driving. This is something that I need to confirm. Now moving on to career mode. During the stream, I showed the GT3 career setup. Did my first race at Daytona, and it didn't go great. The graphics were indeed hurting me at this point. What stood out to me is that the interface was actually pretty clean. The progress structure looks solid, like actual career progression with financial management and sponsorships. It's not just races randomly put together. And it looks like you can make progress within, 30 to 45 minute sessions. And that's huge for somebody who doesn't have, 3-hour blocks of time to dedicate to gaming. But with all the issues that we've been talking about, I need more time with it when it's fleshed out before I can tell you if it's actually good long term. First impressions are positive though. I'm excited to dig deeper into career mode. Now moving on to the AI. But in my pre-release video, I was really worried about the AI. And after testing, those concerns are still there. Like the AI will ram you off the road, straight up ram you. Their spatial awareness is not even there, and they will 100% put you in the wall if you're not careful. This can be seen when I'm in the Mustang GT3 at Daytona. They just acted like I wasn't there. And you can ask the guys on stream, they saw the same thing too. But, and this is a big but, wait a minute, they're still fun to race against, if I'm honest. If you give them space and race defensively like you would in a sketchy public lobby, they're raceable. They're not unplayable, they're just very aggressive. And honestly, I've raced worse AI in other sim titles. If you've been sim racing for a while, you know that some of these sims that came out, or that are very popular today, had really horrible AI at their start. So just putting that out there. So yeah, they need refinement. But if you treat them like unpredictable public lobby drivers, you can have actually pretty decent races. But just don't expect them to see you on the inside of a corner. Now moving on to some bugs that I've kind of noticed that I haven't really seen people talk about. Granted, this first bug that I'm talking about, people have talked about, is the second one that I haven't really heard too much about. First off, in the GT3 cars, as I race GT3s mainly, they have a serious handling problem. When you downshift, the rear end gets really unstable, like the car just wants to spin. And it's specifically when you go from third gear to second gear while braking, the rear end wants to just kick out. And also, also, when you're just coasting through a turn, the rear end wants to step out. And this is across all GT3s, not just the Mustang. I've tested it on multiple GT3 cars and it's the same problem on each one of them. It makes it really difficult to drive them smoothly. So now this is the one that I haven't seen anybody really talk about. There seems to be an invisible wall at Daytona. I hit it 3 separate times in 3 different sessions. I couldn't see what I was hitting, but it rips the whole front bumper right off of the car, like clean off. And I will give Project Motor Racing some credit here, is the panels, the bumpers, the wing, the pieces of the car, the damage, if implemented correctly, which is not right now, is gonna be amazing. So let me just say that. So there is definitely like some invisible collision artifact somewhere on that track. Let me know if you've experienced this as well, as this is something that really needs to be fixed. Because can you imagine just being in the middle of the race and you're actually doing pretty good and then boom, some random thing hits you that you can't see, and now you've got damage and you can't continue the race. So anyways, moving on to the next topic. All right, now to the bottom line. Do I regret buying Project Motor Racing? No. But would I recommend everyone buy it right now? That depends. Here's what's actually good. The force feedback is excellent once you dial it in. Way better than expected after that rough start. The career mode structure looks exactly like what sim racing needs, at least in my opinion. The Mustang GT3 actually sounds really good in my opinion, and also is pretty fun to drive once you have those settings dialed in. And the MX-5 was surprisingly fun. I had a pretty good time just whipping that thing around the track. Here's what needs work. Graphic optimization. It stutters even on low settings. The AI spatial awareness needs to be fixed because the aggressiveness is not too bad as long as they know that you're there. Usually the aggressive settings on other sim racing titles, I turn all the way up. Bugs like the GT3 handling issue and the invisible walls, and the out-of-the-box force feedback is terrible. Most people won't figure out the fix even with the official guide available.
So here's my take.
If you're willing to spend 30 minutes to dial in the settings, if you can tolerate some of the bugs while they patch up the game, and if you want to be part of the journey as this improves, then yeah, I think there's potential here. I've got some hopium that they'll keep working on this. But if you want day one polish, if bugs frustrate you, if you just want plug and play, maybe wait a month or 2 for patches, or wait for a sale, or wait for more reviews. And honestly, the reviews right now are kind of iffy. I'm curious to see where they take this with updates. I'll keep testing and report back honestly. More videos coming on this. So what do you guys think? Have you picked up Project Motor Racing? Found any settings that work even better? Let me know in the comments. And speaking of community, I'm doing monthly live streams now. The launch stream was awesome. That's where we figured out all this stuff out together. If you want to join the next one, hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. And that just about wraps everything up. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on track.